Hi, my name is DJ Fairbanks, and I am one of Chuck's long-term friends here in Atlanta, Georgia. And when I was coming up with a toast, I decided to stay away from marital advice. I hear that a lot of times at weddings, and I've been married 5 wonderful years with my wife. I think it's enough tenure that we be handing out such important advice. So instead, Chuck and I have traveled internationally for many times. I know a lot of his tendencies. And since the two of these, Carter and Chuck, are going on their international honeymoon for 2 weeks, I thought maybe I could offer some advice that will help you through some of the pitfalls and problems you will encounter for sure. Now, how to get Chuck to absorb some of my advice can be challenging. I've found over the years he often attends everything I say, so I dug deep into my library and found an old book from my business school, The Art of Negotiating, Getting to Yes. Now, this is the second edition. Surprisingly, Chuck has the first edition in his bookshelf as well. I saw it. So, essentially, this book will teach you how to negotiate based on merits and principles versus positions. And Chuck, if you follow these guidelines, you will get through your honeymoon and find form. So let's go, and bear with me, you might get bored by this, but Chuck will eat it up, so. It's like literally a book report. Chuck's toast to me and my wedding is forever, so I'm paying it back here. The first principle is to separate your order from the issue. In other words, Chuck, don't attack, you want to attack the problem and not Carter. So, I see this coming into play maybe on the first day of arriving to your hotel after your long flight. And I say this because I think Carter and my wife, they have similar positions when it comes to unpacking. You will probably, Chuck, arrive to your room, take a quick break, come back into your beautiful room and find it miraculously transformed in mere moments to what appears as a suitcase bomb implosion. Alright? Now, Chuck's position is that he's anally neat. Alright? Your position, not so much, Carter, I understand. So, you will argue your principle as being that this is a method of saving time. Okay? It's just a lot easier. Chuck says he probably wants to be able to appreciate the fine rugs, the wall hangings, the lampshades, which he can no longer see. So now, you've exposed your positions, you have to explore the interests. So, what Chuck might say is that, well, how do we resolve this? I would say, go and get 2 rooms, okay? It may be cost prohibitive, but Chuck, she saves time unpacking, and you save a little bit of sanity. The ultimate result is what's called win-win. Essentially, this book teaches you how to stay away from win-lose or lose-win, so we're always looking for a win-win. Principle number 2, focus on the interest, not the positions. Actually, that might be number 1. Skip to number 3. They're all pretty much the same. It's just like number 3, and this is a little bit of a worry one. Invent options for mutual gain. All right, I'm going to read the wording. It's basically the chapter discusses difficulty designing optimal solutions while under pressure. Blah 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 blah. The chapter suggests finding and setting aside a nice, peaceful place to negotiate a wide range of possible solutions. Now, I think essentially this is saying just think outside the box of your traditional thoughts. Now, Chuck, for many of you know, tends to be set in his ways. If you look at his wardrobe alone, it's basically khaki pants / shorts, that's an eye, with one of maybe 50 shades of blue for a shirt. He has the same SUV for the last 20 years and pretty much makes quotes from 3 different movies 20 years ago. And, you know, call, looky here, Rusty, are you thirsty? You get the idea. Anyway, I think this chapter will become handy when you're on your bike tours, which you're going to be taking in Italy. And Chuck and I, one time in Nice, went on a 75-mile bike ride in the Alps. Now, Chuck had not been riding at all. But somehow, I got him through the bike ride by basically lying to him. Of every single ascent, I would say we're almost to the top when we were not. I mean, this sense, I think this is a lot of fun, Chuck, when someone I just had died the previous week on that very turn. I didn't tell Chuck that. And we got through the ride. It was an epic fashion. And I would say, though, that this method deception will not work well with cart. All right, so when you're on your ride and you find yourself in maybe a flat tire, you're lost, who knows what, Chuck, I want you to find a nice place for lunch, take her aside, and negotiate a solution on how to get her to the hotel. Maybe you're driving back, pick her up in a car, maybe ride down the slopes a little more slowly so that it's safe. And at the very least, negotiate a reward system is always good. A bottle of wine, chilled wine with some cheese and a drawn warm bath at the hotel. What happens is you get your Apr18, she gets more calories burned than any of her marathons, and you both eat guilt-free for 3 days. So that is a outcome win-win. Fourth and last principle. Insist on using objective criteria. Now, this is right in Chuck's wheelhouse. If any of you are familiar with Chuck's Divvy app, anyone Divvy app? Divvy app? Divvy app is this Excel spreadsheet that Chuck has comprised that will essentially divide all the expenses of anyone involved in that trip into like unbelievable detailed form. Then he factors in some outside factors, and he gives you a summary spreadsheet that looks like a firework display of all these numbers and facts. Now, lucky for you, Chuck, this history of Divvy app will serve well as an objective model to how to spend and budget your trip. So, Cart, not at all, Cart. We have an objective measure, Divvy app, all the trips. This is where you come into play. I want you to ask him to take a look at all those Divvy apps, all right? And you can start exploring how you're going to budget. For instance, our trip to Beijing, the gift line item alone was in the thousands, all right? Yes. So feel free to buy all the trinkets and gift presents you want for the ride home. Our Kilimanjaro airfare was outrageous. So feel free to upgrade to first class. The going out line item in Brazil was above normal. You should be fine for your entertainment in the evening. All of these apps, Divvy apps, will serve as a standard of objectivity for your budget use. Okay, now, one more thing. Explore our last men of leisure adventure trip to the Patagonias. Chuck would often find himself saying, $1,000 a room, that's outrageous. I'll take 2. Again, Chuck, yes, you will take 2 rooms, and it will be a win-win outcome. So, in summary, I think I'm still under Chuck's 10-minute barrier here. Getting to yes will take on a whole new meaning for your honeymoon. If you follow these 4 principles, of which I only read 3, I'm sorry. First, let me refresh your memory. Attack the problem, not each other. In other words, leave the scorecard at home. Separate the interests from positions. If you can't, let the concierge do all the dirty work for you. Think outside of the box and how to design creative solutions. Alcohol is a great motivation. And lastly, use an objective criteria like Divvy app to establish that wallet-busting budget that you will encounter. If you follow these 4 principles, your honeymoon and everything else will be sure to have win-win outcomes. So here's the Chuck card, and here's to win-win. This is for your library. Version 2, 2nd edition.